Hey guys, welcome to Music Blueprint. This is Gina Fontanella, one of the co-founders of Music Blueprint, where we teach you guys how to become full-time musicians and make money with your art. And I am so excited for today because I have Chance Hawkins here, the other co-founder of Music Blueprint, and he is our marketing guru. He knows all of the things, maybe not all of the things, but he knows a lot. So we're just gonna kind of bring him on. He's already on, and yeah. Hey, Chance.
How's it going?
It's going good. How are you doing, man?
Good. I'm good. Can you hear my
Well,
audio? I just realized my air conditioner kicked in.
the
So
rumbling in the back.
I know it always does something like that. I can turn it off here if it's
No,
loud on your end.
it sounds pretty good. It doesn't sound too bad.
Okay, cool. Good.
Well, tell the Music Blueprint people who you are, how you got started. Also, even
Mhm.
tell them where you're at because a lot of people probably assume that we are both in LA, which we are not. So
Sure.
I'll let you go from there.
Well, guys, my name's Chance Hawkins. I'm a digital marketer, and I'm based out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm usually traveling quite a bit, but I call Tulsa home currently. And so I've been here for about 10 years. I grew up actually in New Mexico and moved up here. I really like it. Tulsa's a nice place to settle down, I guess. So,
Tito.
yeah, it's green country. The only thing I hate is the allergies. They're terrible.
Oh, I agree. The allergy. I didn't have any allergies, and then I got to Oklahoma and went to school there. And after I left, I had horrible allergies. And I still to this day don't know why that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It might be in my head, but
I don't know.
terrible for a singer, I'll tell you that. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. There's no way I could ever sing because of my allergies. It would be
Right, you just plain can't
disastrous.
sing.
Yeah, it would be disastrous because of that. Maybe I could rap, and they wouldn't know the difference with the sneeze here and there, but
Right. Oh
that's it.
shoot, drop that sneeze
Mhm.
beat.
It
That's
would be
hilarious.
funny,
Well,
yeah.
tell the people, what do you do? How did you get started? I mean, I know you're a huge entrepreneur. You kind of worked from the ground up, building a bunch of different businesses. One of the businesses being marketing, and that's kind of funneled into all of the other businesses that you've created and started.
hmm Yeah, I started so young when it came to, all the different facets of online marketing. It really was just intrigued me.
Mm.
Um, I had some really good mentors when I was younger who did all types of marketing. So for me, it was all a matter of understanding it, uh, perfecting it, trying to figure out how to market and sell different products online. Whether it was a small, product that was sub $50 or something that was, a couple $100,000, just understanding the mechanics involved to marketing online, it was always something that I wanted to get good at. And
Mm.
so from an early age, I started a bunch of websites, taught myself how to code, and just started trying to build stuff. Having that entrepreneur mindset allowed me to test, and gave me I guess the confidence to try, even though
Mm.
I failed at most of my early endeavors. And one thing that I I realized also is as I was marketing different companies, products, and services, I just fell in love with the process of marketing, figuring
Mhm.
out a strategic plan, figuring out how to implement that plan, and help people achieve their goals. It's about getting awareness, it's about converting, uh, having people complete a specific goal. And, that's something that everybody needs. And also it doesn't matter what you sell or what you're trying to push. um, it starts with a couple of the core fundamentals, and then from there you can break off and have a bunch of fun with a bunch of growth hacks and some crazy stuff like that.
Which is something that you've actually done. I mean, you started a marketing company, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. if I say anything wrong. You started with a marketing company. I met you when you started Angry Axe,
Mhm.
and you kind of used your marketing skill set to start an axe throwing place where honestly that wasn't really a thing in Tulsa. I mean, you had discovered, I can't remember where exactly you kind of came up with the idea and saw it, but that wasn't a thing in Tulsa. And then you started one branch and just kind of marketed the crap out of it. And I mean, explain a little bit about like how long it took you, you
Mhm.
know, and stuff like that, because that's where we met, and then we connected, and kind of started this whole Music Blueprint madness.
Yeah, after doing marketing for a bunch of clients um, and especially in the professional service space, then I just got a little tired of doing that for a bit, and I wanted to market something that was fun, that was exciting. So I found axe throwing when I was in Las Vegas. I saw a place that was doing it, and I thought, this would be really cool in Tulsa. So
Which
I,
you are correct. It is so cool. It was such a good eye,
oh,
because
thanks.
that is something that is so cool in Tulsa. Um, I don't know. It just fits it fit the community really well. So it was a very good eye on you to even see that to begin with.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, it was scary starting out. I didn't know how well people would take to it. Oklahoma, a lot of people, you would assume that this would be a great place to start. Something like that. But it's
Mhm.
urban axe throwing, so will people actually pay for it? Will they have fun with their friends? How do you limit the risk? I mean, there's so much involved to it, but that's what made it fun. And once we started, then we found out it was very marketable, and we
Mm.
just we just did it. That's yeah, it's so different. It's completely different to market a retail entertainment venue than it is professional services or anything else. So
Right.
each industry has its challenges, but also there's specific strategies for each industry.
Right. And how did you figure out, for instance, like for most musicians, we're always looking for, the super fan, or we're trying to target with any marketing that we do, the people that are just going to be about us, right? So what was the process that you did, if you can explain it in layman's terms, of finding the people in Tulsa that would, like throwing axes?
Yeah. Um, there's a couple parts to this. There's a traditional approach where what you'll do is you try to get as much audience data as you can. You're trying to figure out your core demographic, and in some ways we do this, even today, where we're trying to find, who actually likes what I have to offer. Um, and back in the old days, you might do a survey or to kind of test some things. But doing online marketing makes it a lot faster because you can just throw out something, see what sticks, see what people care about, and then kind of go from there. And even a more modern programmatic approach is that, for example, let's say Facebook advertising. Facebook is so good at finding your core audience. And so
Yeah,
their
they really are.
algorithm, yeah, their
It's
algorithm
hard
will
to
find
beat their
it.
built-in already process that they have. I mean, it's really difficult.
Exactly. Yeah. So it takes some strategy, but for the most part, you're going to get a lot of help from the algorithm. You're going to get a lot of help from the machine learning that they do. And it's a little bit easier in that way. So to answer your question about Angry Acts, we just had to do a lot of micro test. And so we, put a bunch of campaigns together. We did the test and then we optimized from there because, it's hard when you're trying to find a brand new market. You haven't marketed your product or service. Or maybe you guys haven't marketed a specific style, or you haven't really, you don't know who connects with your music. And, the best thing to do is just to test because it's hard to say, okay, this group of people and within this age group, and, they also like this artist and that artist and this artist. It's hard to just pick something and it worked the first time. You're going to have to do a bunch of little tests in order to
Yeah.
find that.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think sometimes too, I mean, I've tested things out on the marketing side and found people that liked my music that I had no idea that they would have liked it. Like people in like Pakistan or like, you know what I mean? Like just random places, people that, you know, like when I was first starting out was like people that really liked Billie Eilish really liked me. I didn't make that connection. You know what I mean? So when you start testing those things out, you start realizing, oh, this is actually my targeted audience. And I had no idea. I had no idea that like my targeted audience actually is like 25 and younger. And then it goes 55 and older, which is such a big jump. Like you would have thought, oh, the moms would have been in on me, you know what I mean, more.
Mm-hmm.
But it actually was just like, nope, it's just the young kids. And then for some reason, the older crowd really, really likes your stuff. And I'm like, why?
You skipped a
I'm like, I'm not
generation.
classic rock. Right. I'm not classic
Yeah.
rock. I'm not jazz. I'm not any of the things that you would think that generation would like. But for some reason, they really like me. So I constantly have to make my ads targeted to those two groups. And originally, when I started out, I had no idea that that was even my fan base.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy how that works. But it's fantastic when you find a brand new fan base or you find a brand new audience of people. And you know, the beauty of great technology, like for example with the Facebook ad platform, is that when you find your customers, the people who've watched, let's just say 95% of your videos, stuff like that, you can create a lookalike audience to find more people like that. So it's going to look at all the data points that are similar to the audience that likes your stuff, and then you can target those people. So you can just
Right.
kind of grow your audience based on, you know, based on engagement with your content and all that.
Yeah, and for all of, you know, the people who are just starting to get connected with Music Blueprint, we definitely are going to probably take a day and walk you through it. Also, the program that we are about to release pretty soon here will walk you through how to do some basic marketing steps. And you know, this is just set one of our course that we're creating. We have another course that's already being created that will dive even deeper into that. Marketing just, Chance and I have talked about marketing is I would say, gosh, I would even go to the extreme of saying like 80% of what you should be doing is marketing, because it's about getting your stuff in front of people's faces. And you could create all the art you want, but if nobody sees it, then what's the point, right? So but we're definitely, we can go on and on and on about marketing, and we trust when we say we have so many courses that are going to be set up just for that alone, because it's really, really important to get all of that together and get all your ducks in a row on that.
Absolutely. You know, you start with your brand. You obviously have to do some branding. Then you
Yes.
have, you know, reaching people, getting awareness to your brand, getting
Mm-hmm.
people to actually see it, connect with it, and then engage with you and take some type of action, whether it's purchase your music, book you for a show,
Yep.
maybe just, you know, consume the next piece of content that you have, become a fan, a like, a subscriber. You know, all of those actions can be optimized for with specific campaigns. And you know, you'll be testing content, you'll be testing you know, all your messaging, as well as how to actually target these people. You know, what platform is best. You mentioned, you know, people who like Billie Eilish, they also like your music. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
possible that you can do campaigns specifically to audiences that hang out in specific places that like her music. You know,
Right.
whether they're watching YouTube videos that are related to it, your
Mm-hmm.
ads are pre-rolling in front of it, or you know, your private, you know, Facebook groups and communities and stuff like that. You can target those people. There's just so many types of campaigns, but you know, once we get the fundamentals correct and we help somebody kind of lay out their brand strategy, figure out their campaigns, work within the budget constraints that they have, we'll be able to create some really good campaigns that will get traction. And then all that traction will generate hopefully either some revenue or at least results, so that way you can have the confidence to reinvest in your marketing. And this machine, you know, it's like a snowball. It's just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. And as you expand your reach, then you know, you can always reinvest, put it into other things, you know, create more music, do bigger shows, stuff like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I read this article the other day that to make it in the US, just the US, not, you know, any other country, it costs about $700,000. 700K. And I thought to myself the other day, how much money have I put into this? And I'm like, maybe 30, 40K. If I'm really pushing it and I'm being nice to myself, 50, you know, if you count
Mhm.
the gear that I've bought and stuff like that. But, you know, marketing is one of those things, you know, you have to understand that when you are an artist, you're an entrepreneur, and you have to invest back into your business, because that's how your business is going to grow and double down. You know what I mean? I mean, when I first started, I wasn't a full-time musician. Like, I kind of lucked out that I had some wits about booking a tour, and then I just had insane drive. So the two of those together, I think within the first 6 months out of college, I was already a full-time musician, which is crazy to think about. But I just was not going to let anything stand in my way. But I think if I would have taken a step back and done less on the touring side and more on the marketing side, I actually think that I would be further in my career, because I would have had a bigger social media following to leverage on the label side of things, leverage connections and bigger tours. I could have played on bigger tours. So it really is important, just
Mhm.
marketing side. Like, I have so many friends that just get, they'll get 10,000 followers in a week because somebody who has 1 million followers will hit them up and say, hey, do a duet with me. And they're hitting that person up because they have 400,000 followers. So they know that they're going to get some of their fans, right?
Mhm.
But then the benefit to the other person is like, I'm getting in front of this person who has 1 million followers that are going to be interested in what I'm doing, because they're going to like my voice, or they're going to, you know what I mean? And so, and if they wouldn't have had that following, that wouldn't have happened. So it's definitely a huge leverage point. I think let's not go so much into it. Let's leave them with a little lingering, if you will, because again, you and I both know we have so much to talk about on this. But leave the Music Blueprint people with what you think is the most important thing they can start right now. Whether that be branding, like, look, get your image, get your colors together of what your look would be, or figure out what that even is, or should they start saving up money to start putting into ads, you know, give the people, you know, a little thing that they can take away and start working on for the following week.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, before you really get going, you're going to have to take inventory of what you have. And this is very important. I mean, you know, we work with a lot of people, and sometimes they get into it and they go, oh, you know what, I don't have a computer, so I can't do this. Or, oh, I
Interesting.
have no budget to spend on this or that.
Which
There's just
also, I just want to make a little comment about that. No excuses, people. We are in the no excuses business, so
Yeah,
figure it out.
you can go to the library and you can get on a computer. You can do
Right.
all of
You
this.
have a
Yeah.
phone. I don't want to hear you have no computer. Like,
Mhm.
I'm so tired of people's excuse. No, just kidding. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Go.
But
Keep going.
you gotta take inventory of what you have and the
Agreed.
constraints that you have.
Absolutely.
And then you can make a plan to overcome all those constraints. Because instead of just
Yep.
throwing your hands up and saying, oh, I can't do it, or I'm starting with 0 followers on Instagram, so therefore I can't implement this campaign.
Yep.
Instead, you're you're basically in tune with the reality of, here's where I'm starting right now, no matter where it's at, without no
Mhm.
shame or you know, feeling bad for yourself for not starting sooner or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just you know, make a mental note of the place that you're in, the emotions that you have about being in that place. Get out a pen and paper and write down all the things you're working with, the social media accounts you have, the fans you have, your any type of stats you may have. Um, and I think from there, then you'll have a better idea as we get into any type of campaign or any type of uh, marketing plan. You'll have kind of what you need to do at that point,
Yeah.
because you'll know like where you're starting. So many people, they don't really understand where they're at, so therefore they can't fully understand how to get to where they want to be.
Yes.
um, and some people are
Absolutely.
in denial about it as well. It's better to say, here's where I'm at.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Right. Here's where I'm at. Here's where I
Right.
want to go. Now, what do I have to do to get there? If you think about it, I heard a stat the other day. It's a little bit different, but you can look at the average hourly wage in the U.S., or the average income for a year, and you consider how much people actually work. If you worked 3 times harder than the average person, you would, you know, theoretically have 3 times the results, 3 times the money, 3 times
Yeah.
the, whatever that is. And so, you need to work smart, you need to work hard, you need to basically be committed. And so I think being committed to the process, knowing exactly where you're at, knowing what you have to work with, and then that'll kind of help you, but ultimately understanding who you are. If you get that, then you can just find the audience, find the people that will be your fans because of who you are.
Yeah.
And I would also say maybe find a couple people who are similar to you, and then people who are opposite of you,
Mm.
because and that will help you also understand who you are. But if you find the people who are similar to you, then a lot of times the fans are gonna you're gonna cross over. Some of your fans will be
Yeah.
their fans will be your fans. And if you find the people that are absolutely opposite from you, that'll just help you get a little bit more insight when you break down campaigns and stuff like that, because you can kind of feed off of both the people who are similar and the people who are opposite.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that that's so great. It's what's funny is the podcast that I created right before this actually talks about the same thing. It is so important to know yourself. Know what your likes and dislikes are. Know, I was talking about it more on the songwriting side of when you go into a songwriting room, don't be anything other than yourself. It's so apparent when you are trying to be something that you're not. Like you're not fooling anybody. And the people that you are fooling aren't that committed to you anyways. So there is some innate thing that humans have, and they know when somebody's trying to fool them, and not they don't always know, but they do know that something's off. If they don't know, if they're not insanely emotionally intelligent, they do know that something is off when they're around you. um and it just comes across so much more even on the marketing side. Like, it's everybody has seen it. It's like, why is Madonna wearing a leotard? Like, I don't want to see Madonna in a leotard. She's like almost 70. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, and you could tell like her sales have gone down. Like she's I mean, she's running the empire. She definitely built an empire to coast on for the rest of her life. But like, how much more interesting would it have been if she would have taken more of like a Fleetwood Mac route, where yeah, they had their soaring moment and they did their thing, but then when they came out and did a tour, it was like, oh, this is Fleetwood Mac that I still love, but also they're not trying to be a teeny bopper anymore because they're not teeny boppers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
it's just things like that. You really, really have to know yourself and use that as the point and be unbelievably have unbelievable insight on that, and have know your starting point, and I would even say, to add to that, know your ending goal. Because it's sometimes, and I found this, I do this all the time, is I will be doing things that I think I should be doing, but when I think about what is my overall goal, like my overall goal right now is in the next 3 years to sell at the Staples Center. Okay, that's a pretty big goal. So is everything I'm doing right now going to help me to achieve that goal? If the answer is no, get rid of it. If the answer is yes, then keep it, right? If you're going to have these big goals of what's, going on, you need to make sure that you know your starting point. Okay, this is where I'm at. I'm not anywhere near where Ariana Grande is, or where, you know, even Charlotte Lawrence. I mean, you could name, you know, people that maybe seem more obtainable to you. But if this is my starting point, how do I get there? And then making sure that along the way, everything that you're doing is to the goal.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, absolutely.
anyways, guys, that is Music Blueprint. I'm so happy that you guys finally got to meet the Chance Hawkins, the break dancer himself. We need to get a video up
Oh,
on here
definitely.
at some point of you
Spice one
breakdancing.
in. Yeah.
Right, just like cut one in so people can see what you can do. But thank you for coming on here. I mean, I know this, you know, this is what you and I do together, but I know people are going to just gain so much insight about marketing, which is the most confusing thing about music, is how do I market my stuff? I mean, it's just like, it's really confusing. So I'm glad that you're here and that you're doing this with me, and we can kind of help people get on the right track.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's a great journey. Gonna
Yeah.
bring some people along with us. So
Right. Hopefully.
yeah.
All right. Have a great week, guys, and try to take on anything that Chance and I said just to better your guys' marketing, and let us know if it helps or not. Cool. See ya.